Rolfing. Rolfing is also known as structural integration. Over 50 years ago, Dr. Ida Rolf observed that gravity over time will accentuate imbalances in the body that can lead to pain and stiffness. The body is a system of seamless networks of tissues known as connective tissue or fascia. Rolfing works along these fascial planes that surround, support, and penetrate all the muscles, bones, nerves, and organs. It releases, realigns, and balances the whole body, resolving discomfort and alleviating pain. Where chiropractic works with the bony skeletal system and massage therapy works with the muscles, Rolfing is often the missing piece that can lead to permanent pain relief and increased flexibility.
What I'll have you do is put your feet together for me.
So the first thing that the Rolfer is going to do is to talk with the client and have her stand so that she can see her posture and her body alignment. Over the course of time, the combination of gravity and the way that people carry themselves and hold their bodies and hold their emotions can create imbalances. And that can decrease flexibility and also cause pain and tension with the internal organs. So she's assessing her posture and where the areas of contraction and constriction are in the body before she begins her session. And she's really looking at the connective tissue. So after doing her assessment, she'll have the client lie on the table. And again, check for the posture and make sure that the client is comfortable before she begins the session. Rolfing usually consists of about 10 sessions, lasting anywhere from 60 to 90 minutes. And each session will build on the previous one, and it's a process of reducing the restrictions in the fascial planes, which again are the connective tissues, the tissues that run throughout the body. She begins with the plantar fascia. That's the tissue that runs through the feet. And as she works along the fascia, that will result in a more relaxed connection to the ground. And the Rolfer will be able to feel along the tissue planes when the tissue will release and move. She can feel the restrictions release, and she'll hold pressure until the release happens. She's looking for flexibility and motion.
Looking at the movement in your metatarsals.
Now she's creating space between the metatarsals. Those are the small bones in the feet, and that will allow the feet to be more flexible. The connective tissue in the body surrounds and supports all the muscles, the bones, the nerves, and the organs. So as these tissues are realigned, the whole body will rebalance. As she's moving into the ankle, here there's a fascial band that holds the tendons of the lower leg in place. So she's moving her hands and her fingers along that fascial band, that connective tissue band, and you can see she moves progressively through the body. She started with the foot and the toes and the small bones of the feet, and now she's moving into the ankle. And because these fascial planes are all connected, there's no real beginning or end. As you move through the body, the release spreads to all the tissues and all the organs and all the muscles. So she's feeling in the leg to see when she can feel the fascia release. And she just holds pressure until the body actually tells her when to let go and when to move on. She'll feel the release happen. With each progressive session, the Rolfer can go deeper and deeper into where the restrictions are. She's working her hands along the interosseous membrane. That is a fascial plane that goes between the two bones of the lower leg. By using her elbow, she can exert more pressure into this area, and again, she'll go as deep as the tissue will allow and push the tissue to the limits, but not past the limits of how much they can release. The Rolfing process enables the body to regain the natural integrity of its form. So it improves posture and increases freedom of movement. It's also helpful with injuries. Injuries tend to create a scarring and an inflammation of these connective tissue planes, and over time can lead to other problems. Her training and experience allow her to feel and to Exert just enough pressure so that the restrictions will give way. As she's moving up to the quadricep, which is the large muscle in the thigh, and by releasing the restrictions along the quadricep muscle, this will allow freedom of movement throughout the whole body. Rolfers do undergo a training and a certification to become a Rolfer, and it's practiced throughout the world. And as you can see, they're trained to use their whole bodies so that they can exert force onto these connective tissues in just the right amount and just the right direction that allows them to release.
Very nice.
She observes the client as she's working to gauge the pressure.
That's a nice link.
Now she's going to have her walk to see if she notices any changes in the feet and the legs thus far.
Tell the difference between your legs.
Yes, I do. I like that.
Good. All right.
She'll be able to tell, since she's only done one side, she'll be able to feel the difference between the two sides. And then she'll go back and do the same treatment on the other side.
There's these bones on the bottom of your pelvis called sits bones. You feel
The
those
Rolfer
bones?
will have the client move to different positions in order to have access to different parts of the body and to get other views on the posture and where the restrictions are. So she's now going to be moving into doing work on her neck and on her back. And again, she's checking for imbalances, for posture, for alignment, any areas that show there might be restrictions.
No, you just sit there.
And she's using a fair amount of pressure here to move down along that connective tissue plane that runs along the spinal cord. All the muscles are connected by these fascial planes. So by working on the connective tissue or the fascial planes, she can affect a number of muscles at one time. She's getting feedback from the client as to how she's feeling, if the pressure is too much or too little. And then again, she checks and rechecks
Let your head drop.
if the posture has shifted.
That's good. Keep going. Keep going.
She's describing to her how
There
she
you
can
go.
tell by the forward tilt of her
That's good.
that she needs to release some of the tissues on the back there. And again, this gives her greater access to some of the connective tissues.
That's very good.
She moves very slowly and deliberately. There's no jolting. It's all done slowly so that the body can release naturally. Releasing the restrictions in the neck, in addition to helping with pain and tightness and posture, can help with headaches, mood, energy level, insomnia. Oftentimes these restrictions can lead to other health problems. By pressing on these points of restriction, this is going to allow this client to have increased flexibility and an increased range of motion after the session. By knowing exactly where to put pressure, she can exert a lot of pressure and still the client does not have discomfort. After a complete course of Rolfing, the body will be much more at ease with itself and much more adaptable to not only the physical but the mental and emotional challenges of daily life. Rolfing can resolve pain and discomfort from many causes, including old injuries or accidents, trauma, repetitive motion injuries, and even just natural aging.